A video went viral and we saw a group of men who claimed to be brothers beating up their sister's husband. According to them, he had been beating up his wife, their sister, for years, and they have been warning him, in their words, this is the best way to curb domestic violence. What's your thoughts on this? Should we use violence to fight violence?
I would not lie. There's this feeling of satisfaction you get when a bully is being, given a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah.
There's that, like, now you know how it feels. Look at your face. Also, you can beg. Oh, you know how to cry too. So you can feel the pain. I know that is there, but just for safety's sake, really don't be involved in violence.
If I come to you once, don't beat my sister again, even as a girl, me, and I tell you, no, this Ghana, uncle, this method of, is not good. Please, next time, you people can talk. And you look down at me, and the next time I'm invited and I meet my sister in the worst state, trust me, I will beat you. I will get people who are bigger than you. No, I'm serious. That's why I said I don't want to be politically correct. Because some people need to taste this medicine. I have seen a man who was so demeaned by his in-laws to the point of begging. He never tried it again. But because every time they come, they will sit him, he will start talking about how she's badly raised. You married an adult. If you are not ready to marry, leave her. You don't carry your wife and beat.
Mariam,
I will beat you if I was a man.
So we've heard two very, very clear sides. Nima is of the opinion that traditionally this was a way to curb violence within the home, and it happens in both cases. So Kelechi, we have balanced it. But Mariam's of the opinion that you can't put a limit to how the violence would go. You might think, I'm just going to slap, and then you slap and he hits his head on the wall and he dies, and then things go out of control.
So let's get more serious here. Okay. Domestic violence is one thing that happens and can be very damaging. Imagine that he continues to beat his wife, who never raises her hand for defense, and the first time she tried to defend herself, she picks a knife and stabs him wrongly. Yeah. We'll be in court. If she has a good lawyer, she will get away with it for self-defense. But if she doesn't get beaten and they learn to converse over time, we will never get to the point of provocation and one person acting irrational at the time of fear. Okay. So the same goes for the woman who constantly abuses her husband verbally. Some even go physical because they have a bigger abuse on their husbands in the house. The first time the man might decide to do something, it might just be the wrong push and she hits her head and decides to, and that's it. That's why domestic violence is discouraged on every front.
And I'm happy you raised that, because usually when it happens and the woman may get some empathy that, okay, she's been in such a toxic relationship and she stood up for the first time. A man would not. Nobody will want to hear that this is the first time you hit your wife and then she died. Yes. Nobody's going to hear that. So is it not just better to tell the men and women, to tell our sons and daughters, to not even involve yourself? Come and tell me I'm your mother. I will take you to the police. I will take you out of there.
So Mariam,
I also like...
What if a violence was one-off? You said, I cannot imagine... that scenario of, I cannot imagine somebody will beat me and then we beat back, and after the quarrel will now continue in peace. But what if the violence was a one-off? What if the husband or the wife are going through a very tense situation and they shocked themselves and behaved out of character and became violent with their partner, and the resultant violence from the partner made them realize that no matter how frustrated you are, violence is never the solution, and they're able to build a marriage on from that point. That is no more violence. People were, our last caller, and I hate to use as an example, but people were commenting that she shouldn't have taken her daughter back to that school. They say, oh, if he has beaten you once, he will beat you again. Don't ever remain in that situation. But what if it was a one-off and it doesn't happen again? How do we now, will we now end up scattering a beautiful relationship based on...
You never know. You never know. Let me give you one gist. I remember when we were in secondary school, one of my friends used to date someone who was much older, and we looked at her like the business until I got close and realized he used to slap her here once in a while. And one day I was sitting down with them when he was this, he was like, sometimes in his own mind, though, I just give her a slap, just a slap, like, yes, like, when we're angry, it's not like it's not a thing that I do. I'm not a violent person. But, she runs her mouth a bit, and I just slap her. And my friend was smiling, beside as the man of her life is helping adjust her. if that girl were to, if my friend were to go on to marry that sort of person, I am very sure it would have been a domestic violence situation in her marriage.
I've sat up close with men who said, no, there's nothing there. You know, just something to show her that you're the man. You slap her once in a while. And I sat up close. In fact, I remember saying to someone that, you see the way your sister is being treated. The husband will beat the sister and think she's not learning enough, and then beat and drag her outside and make her, and put her naked. So to demean her further. And neighbors will be like, you don't have family, you don't have people. And that person will be like, doesn't solve. Because she will then go back in love and all of that. I said, And when you went there, you saw your sister in that state. You didn't get provoked enough for the man to fear that something will happen to the extent he had opportunity to talk. Why I'm saying this is because, just because Ashishe has, last caller just said it again. I'm saying, show an abuser, just as you would as a mother when somebody abuses your child, that this child has a defense. Let that abuser fear something. It is traditionally done. I did not quote Islam and I didn't go legal. If we even want to talk legal, the process